Hello, everyone. So today we have a pretty controversial video at hand, if you ask me. We are going to be taking inspiration from the botez sisters and doing a better job than they did at ranking chess players according to their rizz. Now, to begin with, let me define rizz for you. As Alexandra Botez said, rizz is the ability to flirt, but that is not what rizz is. Rizz is short for charisma. So doesn't matter if you can or cannot pull people, you can still have rizz. So okay, weird logic, but let's just go along, okay? So first up, we have Daniel Dubov. Now, Daniel Dubov has always seemed to me like a very charismatic person. You know, he knows how to break rules. He's gone to official chess tournaments where you're obligated to wear sort of formal dress, formal shirts and pants. He has gone to them wearing his luxury Balenciaga sweaters. So I do think he has quite a bit of rizz, and also he has some humor, which is pretty evident in his commentary. So I would put him in great rizz. And okay, this is our final, so we'll come back to it later. Next up, we have Twitch star Anna Cramling. Now, Anna, no offense to her, but I think her personality is still developing. Okay, I've seen her being upfront in her mostly IRL streams where she plays chess against strangers and other players, including Magnus Carlsen, Judith Polgar. So, yeah, she does have some charisma, but I think she is still developing her personality. So, we would put her in OK race. Next up, we have the Twitter goat, the chess Twitter goat, rather, Anish Giri. Now, Anish's humor is unique. He doesn't give a shit whether he's shit talking Hikaru or Fabiano or Magnus for Twitter clicks and Twitter retweets, but he does it. So we are going to be putting him in God Rizz. Next up, we have Dina Abelenkaya. Now, this might be a hot take, but I am someone that thinks that Dina needs to work on her rizz. I think, yeah, I wouldn't like to elaborate too much, but I would say below average rizz. Okay, next up we have Fabiano Caruana. Now, if you had asked me before he started his podcast, the C Squared podcast, I would put him in probably below average rizz, but he has quite some humor for a chess player, for a top chess player that E2. So I'd be putting him in OK Riz alongside cramling. Next up, we have Benjamin Finegold. Now, Benjamin Finegold is a funny man. I have to say that he has the capability to keep you hooked to his streams, less by his chess capabilities and more by his humor. So I would put him in Great Riz. Oh, God Riz, Great Riz, oh, God Riz, Great Riz for now. Next up, we have Hans Niemann. Now, Hans was an affluent Twitch streamer at some point in his career. He used to stream long hours, he used to play Among Us, he used to stream chess, and he had two things going for him, both starting with the letter C. One was charisma and the other was cringe. I have to say that he did do a lot of cringe things to get dates with other people, but he also did have some charisma to it. So I would say he is in waitress. Next up, we have Eric Hansen, the chess bra. Now, what do we do about Eric? I mean, he's a smart man. He's a smart man. He, brought about the chess streaming revolution, and he also pulled Alexandra Botez. So what do we do about it? I think we put him in okay riz. Next up, we have Hikaru Nakamura. Now, this is where I have a problem with the Botez sisters. I think Hikaru, and particularly his ability to pull off a pineapple t-shirt, or a pineapple shirt rather, and to not give a damn about what people would think. Even in tournaments, he's gone to tournaments wearing pineapple socks and pineapple t-shirts. I mean, how cool do you have to be to do that? So I would put him in God race. Let's go. Next up, we have the internet chess teacher, Levy Rozman. Now, Levy, sometimes his humor is a bit too narcissistic for me, but I also have to admit that his streams are incredibly funny and They have kept me hooked for hours. And also his ability to pull Lucy, I would put him on alongside Eric. I don't know if he loves that place, but I would put him alongside Eric. Next up, we have the undebatable GOAT, according to me, Magnus Carlsen. You all have seen clips of him hanging out with women, drinking, and absolutely killing it at chess. And I think he does what I don't think anybody else in the world can do. So I would put him in God race and even before Anish. So there you go. I don't think that was very controversial. I think everybody would put Magnus in God race. Next up, we have Daniel Naroditsky. Now, Daniel Naroditsky, he has a very calm, composed personality. Uh, and also, he tried to develop some rizz while he used to stream with Moist Critical. So I would say he has below average rizz. I think he needs to work on his rizz. So there you go. Next up, we have Jan Nepomniachtchi. Now, Nepomniachtchi has a pretty deadpan humor from what I've understood of him from the World Championship press conferences. So, but am I impressed? Not really. Okay, below average. Next up, we have Eric Rosen. Now, here again, Eric Rosen, I think he has such a warm personality. I think that's the definition of charisma. So I would put him in great race. Next up, we have Alexandra Botez. Now, as much as I did not like her chess player rizz tier list, I would have to admit that she is a goated uh, personality. She has brought about a revolution in women streaming chess. So yeah, she belongs to God race. We have Aman Hamilton, also a chess bra. Now Aman, think sometimes he tries too hard. So I would put him in below average race because I don't like people who put too much effort, or at least whose whose efforts show. So yeah, there you go, Aman. And lastly, we have the other Botez sister out, Andrea Botez. And Andrea, where do we put Andrea? I think we can put Andrea in okay risk because I think it's the same thing as Aman. I think she also tries too hard sometimes. So she's way too confident for her age. So I would say she also has great risk or okay risk. I think great risk. Yeah, I would put her in great risk. So there you go. That's my risk tier list. And if you take offense, you're free to. And yeah, there you go. Bye bye.